dans chaque
Hola, people. Good morning. Well, it's morning here. It's 9:23 a.m. here in Northern California. I hope everyone had a good weekend. Happy Monday. It's weird. I am like trying to affirm boundaries with myself. So it's so weird not to do this. Like I can do this every day. It's really I like it. I like engaging, I like sharing, I like talking with y'all. So it's like it's fun for me, but I also have to I have to like stop myself. Like, no, you do all the things. You post so much content every like on your Patreon for your members. You do too much. If you do this every day, it's not going to be as fun. You need to take a break. Well, hello, Jade. Welcome. And so I'm like, okay, take a break. So yeah, I hope everyone had a good weekend. It's actually sunny here. We've been having like weird weather, like it'll like rain really hard. Well, it was raining the other day, like rained really, really hard actually, and then boom, sun. So that's fun. But yeah, so here we are. I shuffled, did my thing, focused on, what we can actually talk about today, what would be best of service, what would be best in communication, yada yada yada. And this is the card, the Four of Cups. The Four of Cups pops up, y'all. This has always been a fascinating card to me. I don't know about you. And always, again, this is our time together. So feel free to share your thoughts, what you pick up, all that stuff. Don't fear of being wrong. What you see might be needed. So share your thoughts if you'd like. You don't have to. Um, but like fours are very foundational. Uh, Yay! Woohoo! I'm happy. I haven't had enough coffee and I kind of slept in a little bit. So yeah, I just started drinking coffee right now. So it's gonna be fun. But fours are like very foundational, right? They create the foundation, they solidify uh good stuff, right? Or not so good stuff. But the Four of Cups has always been weird because if you look at the hand in the picture coming out of the like clouds, it always like reminds me of the Ace of Cups, because aces are, and I associate aces like with gifts from God, gifts from gods, or gifts from divinity, or spiritual blessings, or this blessing out of nowhere. And if you look at the body positioning of the individual here, you can see that they're kind of just like looking down towards like what they have. They're kind of like maybe like daydreaming or sleeping, and they're not really seeing like, hey, there is like this floating hand with this cup for you. Like, here you go. Um, but there's also like the stability of the earth, like the stability of the tree here. You can see that the individual is again sitting under a tree and contemplating, looking at the Three of Cups, like looking at what they have. And I feel this also links back to fulfillment or lack thereof, or and it's not, maybe not like I'm not being fulfilled. I feel like I have these things and I am proud of them and I've enjoyed them, but I want something more. I feel like we're really focusing on what we have, and that's great, but I don't feel inspired. I don't feel excited. Does that make sense? And I feel with the Four of Cups here, they're looking within, they're paying attention, they're going internal, and they're processing all this stuff. And this is what I've been saying lately to clients and to patrons and such, but there's something in the air right now that is asking us to pay close attention to who we are today. Because a lot of times, like, let's say back when you were a teen, you placed, like, you created, you wanted, like, these are my desires, I want to go to this school, I want to do these things. But we forget to sort of neutralize those wants, needs, and desires. And then as we grow, as we navigate reality, and we recognize, like, this is probably no longer a reality for me, because it's not. And it's not because I can't necessarily do it. Sometimes that's the case, but it's not necessarily that. It's more that I'm grown, I have a different life, I chose a different path, and so it's not really something I actually want anymore. And so with the Four of Cups, I feel like we're so focused on what we've built up, which is great, but it's also, we're doing so from like the past. Does that make sense? Or we're doing so for, we're looking back on, this is what I've created for myself from an older version of who we were. Yeah. And so that's kind of the lesson here in the Four of Cups. It's like, okay, that's great. We should always be grateful. We should always be like proud of ourselves and the work we've done, and like what we've accomplished for sure. But I think there's a time where we have to balance, and so we have to recognize going internal and reflecting is great, but we also need to like pay attention and look at what is right in front of us. Like, oh, there's a little bit of a lackluster energy. I want excitement. I want something new. And so you're calling that to you. Now you have to open your eyes and actually allow yourself to receive, right? So there is like a period of deep introspection in this card. Um, but it's really asking us to pay attention to what we really want in life, like and ask yourself now, like, what do you really want? Like, what do I really want right now, like, out of life? What is it that I'm calling forth, and based on who I am today. Don't base those perceptions or those wants and needs from, what you've always stated you wanted since you were a kid, unless it's still relevant today. So I think that's something that we have to be aware of when the Four of Cups comes up in conversation. And I think that another thing is, are we dismissing opportunities for happiness that are right under our noses? And so if we're going to ask, right? If we're going to ask for something, um, we're not going to find it necessarily within our internal realm. So if we go within, we reflect, we ask for things, we put those intentions out. We have to then open our eyes and navigate the external realm and allow ourselves to receive the response. Does that make sense? So I feel like this card appears when we're feeling, again, like I've said, a sense of satisfaction. I have to keep myself on track, y'all. Or disinterest, urging us to look inward. It's a reminder to not just passively observe our life, but to actively engage with our desires and fears. So, what is it that we're really yearning for? And what are we willing to let pass by? Again, we just expressed that, really. And so with this card, we just need to be mindful of, oh yes, all of our blessings. I love that. And I feel like some people are going to be like, well, it seems very ungrateful for me to me if I want more. But that's kind of the purpose of life experience, right? Gather what you have, get those experiences, gain, and allow yourself to ask for more and allow yourself to receive more. That's the beauty of life. It's not greedy. You're not trying to take away from anyone else. You're just focusing on, what you want to experience in your own life. And we need to be very aware of that, because a lot of times we will hold ourselves back, or we will prevent ourselves from experiencing, because we think we're stepping on toes, or we think that we're, we're not allowing ourselves to just be like, you know what, this is my blessing. I'm opening my eyes to receive my blessing. I put it out there, I called for it, and what is for me will be for me and will always be for me. And so I claim this. I'm not here to take away from anyone else. That's not my intention, but I am here to say, you know what, this is my life, my story, and I get to navigate that. Yeah. And another thing, so let's get into my third talking point, y'all. Like, if you have thoughts, questions, concerns, feel free to share your thoughts. Always, despite its peaceful setting, the Four of Cups challenges us to wake from our contemplative state. That's where it's like this healthy ebb and flow. So we have to contemplate. We have to, be introspective and tune within. But we also have to learn when that's too much, and we have to open our eyes and start to navigate outwardly. So, despite its peaceful setting, the Four of Cups challenges us to wake from our contemplative state and decide whether to accept the offered cup. It asks us to be mindful of becoming too complacent or withdrawn from the world, and to recognize the value of what we might currently be ignoring. So that's another thing that I'll offer you. A question for all of us, actually. Like, what might I be currently ignoring in my life? Like, what blessing, what gem, what beauty, what luxury, what piece of advice, what might I be ignoring because I'm still too like introverted or going within internal, right? I'm so looking within at all the things and reflecting and meditating that I'm not paying attention, that what I am sort of like focused upon, what I am channeling, what I'm asking for is being like, hey, you're really good at focusing on what you actually want. I'm trying to provide you this opportunity, but you're not seeing that it's an opportunity for your growth. You're not seeing that I'm providing this for you. So, what might we be ignoring? And and now that we've like expressed this, I think that we can do better with opening our eyes. I'm like, my eyes are open to the blessings and opportunities that I've been calling forth. I will recognize them as signs. I will recognize them, and I will work with them. I don't have to take every opportunity, but when it is for me and when I recognize that this is what I want, I will not hesitate, right? I will not hesitate. And so there's this blend. Again, the fours, they do represent stability. And so I think that we have this stable sort of foundation for us, that when something is for us, when this sort of gift of this emotional relationship stuff, connection is being provided, we will see it as that opportunity, and we can actually claim it. We can say, you know what? I'm not going to ignore this. I'm going to explore it. And again, be discerning in your approach, but yeah, that's when the Four of Cups, it's a little bit of what comes up. I believe the Four of Cups is third decan of Cancer, and I think it's the moon in Cancer. And so that makes sense to me. If I'm pretty sure it's the moon in Cancer, that is associated with the Four of Cups. Which, if it is, and hopefully it is, uh, that makes sense because the moon can be sort of a illusory, right? A very illusion, and very interesting in that way. And so you can see how like I'm in my feels, I'm in my emotions, I'm in like I'm sort of like evaluating the relationships that I'm going through, whether it's like divine relationships or actual relationships with coworkers or friends and family, all these things, right? Myself, my relationship with food, whatever it is. And so like the moon can bring this sort of illusion where, oh, I realize like I'm really like internal about this right now. I need to sort of like come up and come out, open those eyes, and be aware of the sort of psychic charge that is in the air, that is providing like opportunities for us. Okay. um I like the timing of this as we are coming out of all that tricky and astro energy of April. Time to take a deep breath, step out of the reflective fog, and set our sights on our goals again. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I do like this because it's again that reminder that there is a healthy balance of introspection, and focusing outwardly. So introspection, tuning within, and then like taking action, going out and doing what you need to do, or opening your eyes and witnessing like, oh, there is this opportunity for me. So I allow myself, right? Let's express that. I allow myself to receive all the opportunities that are presented to me, to see and to witness and to be aware and be discerning of the opportunities that are being presented to me, and I get to pick and choose what it is that I actually get to indulge in. But I like that. I like that for the Four of Cups. If you have any last minute thoughts, questions, concerns, feel free to ask. Feel free to share your thoughts. If you're watching a recording of this later on, always feel free to comment. But yeah, that's what's popping up today. That Four of Cups energy. So take some time to reflect, but also don't forget to open those eyes and like be really excited that there's like a floating hand ready to offer you something really good, and take it. It's yours. What is for you will be forever for you, for sure. It's yours. And so, yeah. I think that's it, y'all. So don't forget to check me out on Patreon, patreon.com/House of Blackthorn. Sign up as a free member, get a feel for what I do. But if you do sign up as a free member, I post this video, like I post this, I try to post it on Patreon first and give about like 5 minutes or so. So like you get notified, hopefully, like, oh, we're gonna do a live. Because sometimes like other platforms like Facebook, YouTube, it takes a bit for it to transfer over when I hit that live button. So it's just another way to access the content when I really do go live. So thank you again. I do appreciate each and every one of you. You enjoy the rest of your, what day is it today? It's Monday, y'all. It's Monday. Have fun with it. Have fun. And yeah, if you need anything, always feel free to reach out. Thank you so much. I appreciate y'all, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Take care.